Hey y'all, hey, it is your girl Nurse T. If you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Please be so kind to hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button if you like what you see, and also leave me a comment because I respond back. If it's your first time stopping by, I am a registered nurse. I have many years of nursing experience. I do make videos on nursing school, graduate nursing, nursing as your career. If it's your first few years of nursing and you feel like you might need some advice about something, I am a float pool nurse. I do have a float pool video if you want to know what type of nurse is a float pool nurse. So basically, I work all over the hospital. So you landed in a good spot. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can check out more videos from me. We already know what's coming up. So we do have August coming up. And what does August mean? August means back to school for many of you. So fortunately, some of my newbies out there will be starting nursing school in August. Congratulations. Okay, and for those of you who are still in nursing school and just need that pick-me-upper or just that positive reminder that you can do this, keep pushing, go forward, I just want to start this thing while I drop a couple of nuggets throughout your term that you can have something to fall back on, to click on, just to remind you that, hey, I can do this. I know we can kind of get caught up. We can be a little discouraged at times. And sometimes we can run across some negative people that further knock us down. But your girl Nurse T got you covered. I'm here. I'm one of the most positive nurses that's out there. I know we've been facing a lot of burnout. I know we get a lot of nurses when you go to clinicals. They're probably not the most happiest because they are probably burnt out. They're probably overworked, stressed out, and it probably shows, and it's probably a little discouraging at times. But have no fear, Nurse T is here. And as I said, keep me in your back pocket. Keep me when you go to clinicals. Keep me when you go home, when you just have that come to Jesus moment, where you just need to pull out that phone and get some inspiration and motivation. Your girl got you covered. So one of my first nursing school nuggets, this would probably pretty much apply to those who are already in the program, who have probably hit that point where they feel like, you know what, I'm tired. I just want to give up. Things are not looking like it's the brightest for me. Like, where do I go from here? Well, I just want you to remember something. I want you to remember one thing. When you started nursing school, or if you in nursing school from this point on, I want you to show up and show out. And what I mean by that is that you didn't get this far just to get this far. You didn't get all the way into nursing school and went through everything you did to get into this program just to fail. If you're currently in the BSN program, I want you to think about those 2 years that you took to get those prerequisites. If you're in the ADN program, I want you to think about that year that it took. Or if you're in the LVN or LPN program, I want you to think about those countless classes that it took you to get into that program. Now, that program alone, I know, can be very strenuous because it's a year program. And everything that you're pretty much expected to know, you're expected to gather that information in 1 year. So I want you to remember that you didn't come this far into your program just to get this far. The next thing I want you to think about is think about those fees that you had, everything that was required to enter into the program. Where you had to do the fingerprinting, you had to get labs done, you had to do background checks, you watched the countless YouTube videos. You had to do so much, and you were so excited and eager to get into this program. So I want you to remember everything, all the fight you had in you to get in, and I want you to use that to stay in. I want to encourage you and remind you that, remember, you're halfway there. Half of your success is just you showing up. The other half, you have to do the work. You've already made it this far, and you didn't make it this far just to make it this far. And always remember, tell yourself, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So this is something that, this is your passion, this is your vision, and only you can make this happen. Like I said, they never said it'll be easy, but they said that it'll be worth it. And then you also got to remember that to have something that others don't, you have to do the things that others won't. Now, you do have a lot of people that's out there that desire to be nurses, but who's willing to give up time, who's willing to put in the time that it takes. Nobody but the person that is destined to become a nurse, and that will be you. People that are out there who are trying to get to where you are, where you currently are, whether you're in your first semester, you're in your second semester, your third, fourth, or so on. You have some people who didn't make it past the prereqs. You have people who were taking prereqs and found the sciences to be challenging, the math to be challenging. They might have had one failed grade and it made the determination that they couldn't go any further. Instead of taking that one failing grade and build on it, look to see where they went wrong and try to build from that point up. So you've gotten this far, and like I said, you didn't get this far just to get this far. So when you get into this nursing program, or while you're in the nursing program and you hit that rough point, you think about it. From this point on, it's time to show up and show out. Okay, so my next nugget I want to share with you is you are who you hang around. Now, I have shared with you before about how before I started my BSN program, I was accepted into an ADN program. It actually caught me by surprise that I was accepted, but I joined it. And when I joined it, I went in with a negative mind frame. I went in thinking about all the negative stuff that was supposed to happen. So I went in thinking negative, and it wasn't a great outcome. Negative thinking led to negative outcomes. It was when I restarted the program, but only to start my BSN. When I restarted, I wanted to start with a fresh start and a fresh mind, and to be more positive. And positive actions, positive thinking led to positive outcomes. So I do want to encourage you to stay away from negative people, negative thoughts, because all that leads to negative outcomes. And for those of you who have not seen that video, I basically spoke on how I was accepted into the nursing program. I had it in my mind that everything I was supposed to stress out. I was supposed to go through all of this stuff. And through the grace of God, I actually passed that semester. And I knew I was faced with 3 more semesters ahead of me, and I wasn't ready for the challenge. And like I said, I carried so much negativity, it made my load feel so much heavier. So I decided to quit the program. My advisor advised me and tried to encourage me to stay in, but mentally I wasn't there. So I took a little hiatus. I left the program, but when I restarted back, I restarted my BSN, and I started off on a strong foot, and I graduated on a strong foot. If you're from Houston, Texas, you might be familiar with one of the rappers, Slim Thug. And you also probably be familiar with Joel Osteen, one of the pastors here, big pastor. So Slim Thug has a song called, I guess it's called Church or whatever, however you say it, CHUUCH. And it has some of Joel Osteen when he's preaching. Some of his sermon is on there. And one of the things that Joel Osteen said was, birds of a feather flock together. And we have all heard that before. So if you're a person that's failing the nursing program, you don't want to surround yourself with more people that are failing. If you're struggling, you don't want to be surrounded by people who are struggling. So always remember to watch the company that you keep. Watch the people that you finding yourself being around, because the last thing you want to be in a position where you're linked up with someone who basically not showing any effort, they're skating their way through, and who's failing and just trying to get it when they can get it. So what you want to do is link up with those who are actually going somewhere. Link up with those who are actually doing things. Link up with those who getting those A's on their tests, who's answering those questions in class, who's sounding like the teacher pet because they did all of their homework or whatever. It might sound a little corny or whatever, but they actually going somewhere, and you might want to join them. Find out what they did different to pass that test. Find out how they got those questions right, or what material they're using, what study strategy they have. So try to surround yourself around people who are going places and doing big things. Remember, complainers will always complain. Don't surround yourself with people who will complain. Don't surround yourself with the negative Nancy's. Surround yourself with positive people. For everything negative they say, try to come back with something positive. And pretty sooner or later, hopefully you'll rub off on them being that positive person. Don't look at the cup half full, So sometimes you just have to say these positive things to yourself so you can begin to believe these things. Correction. Don't look at the cup half empty. Look at the cup half full. So also make sure you're flocking with the right group of people. Victorious people are going to hang around victorious people. At the end, y'all will celebrate. So when you hang around someone that y'all both, the end goal is to win, get the best grades. At the end, y'all can have little milestones that y'all celebrate together. It's nothing worse than two people who are unproductive, barely skating by, failing classes. You catch them out partying. You catch them out clubbing. You catch them out doing those things as if they have something to celebrate. What are you celebrating? So speaking of celebrating, I do want to share something that I used to do that helped to keep me motivated. So before starting nursing school, I used to sit around and hang around family members, cousins, everybody. We had one mutual spot we would all be at, one of the family members' homes. And we'd just sit on the porch and just cut a rug, just have fun. Just, taking our shots or just recapping on things. Just basically just hanging. That's basically what we was doing, hanging. As we hanging, the years are passing. And everybody's situation is still the same. Nobody's growing, nobody's evolving. And then that's when that little light went off in my head, like, girl, listen, you're going to get older. Your kids are going to get older, or you're going to have more kids. I think at the time I had one and was getting ready to have another one. And so I was like, don't make your situation harder for you. Situation harder, work smarter, not harder. Go ahead and go back to school. I was comfortable with what I was making as a CNA, but I was comfortable because I worked a lot of hours. I worked a lot of days. And I knew that at some point I'm not going to be able to work this hard because I'm going to get older. And then the more days I'm working, the more time I'm spending away from my kids. It's cool now, but as we get older and they get older, they're going to need me present in the home. So I'm like, I need to go ahead and go to school, finish my nursing. So that's just the background. So anyways, like I said, speaking of celebrating, we would just sit around. And then I got in nursing school and I kind of found myself still going back over there and hanging a lot or whatever. And so I knew that was something that I had to stop, right? So I began to make that like a reward for me to do. So when prepping for my test, I was such as studying, doing all my study tips. I made a video on that. Make sure you check them out. But I would study during the week. So when the Friday come and I have a test and I pass my test, my reward was I get to go hang out. So I'm getting to do the things that I like to do, but it's more of a reward. So if it's something that you find yourself doing, like watching your favorite television show or spending time going to the movies, doing whatever it is, use that as mini rewards, little mini milestone rewards. So if it takes me to, if I have 4 tests a month, then I'm going to go over there 4 times a month because that's what I enjoy doing. So instead of just doing it on a regular, I began to do it as a reward system. Just in case you feel like you're missing out, you're not missing out on nothing. If you was a person that was going out to clubs or whatever, those same clubs gonna be popping. Like they always say, you're not missing out if you busy getting your stuff together. So handle up on your business. All that stuff that you think you're missing out on is still gonna be there. And now you'll have more money to do it, to entertain it. Everything part of this little nugget, I said all of that to say, you are the company you keep. Think about what you're doing in life, where you are in life, where you're trying to go in life. Look at your surrounding. Look at the people around you. No, you're not saying you're better than them. No, you're not. You're not trying to be somebody different, but this is a temporary situation you're in. What they say is a temporary setback for a major comeback. So remember, look at the company you keep. When you're in nursing school, look at those people around you. How are their grades? Are they passing? Are y'all passing together? Are y'all motivating each other? If not, you need to change it up. You need to get you a new set of friends. Even if every semester you changing your circle. Get you a group study, a set in your group that wants to do the same thing you want, which is to graduate, pass these classes. Those people in your circle, because they are going places and they're going where you need to go or where you're trying to go. Okay, so my very last nugget is you get out what you put in. So just remember, if you're giving 10%, don't expect 100%. So if you giving 10%, do not expect 100%. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. Okay? Always remember that when it's time for you to study for these tests, and then when you get your grades back and you look surprised, just ask yourself, what did I do to prepare for this test? Did I read? Did I practice questions? Did I do whatever little study stuff that the school gives you these days? Whether it's ATI, whatever it is. What all did you do to prepare? So I'm going to share with you about something that I've shared in a couple of videos in the past. But at one point, I was going through a critical care class. Now, I took my first critical care class when I allowed myself to be distracted, when I allowed myself to deviate from what I was supposed to be focused on, and it had a negative outcome. I failed that class. So when I re-entered into another critical care class, and you remember you can only fail you can only fail twice in a nursing program, and then you're out. So I was doing so well until one semester I decided to allow myself to focus on something that had no meaning to me. Anyways, yeah, so I had to retake that class. And when I retook that class, I ended up with a teacher that was so much harder, and 90% of the class was failing. But I knew that wasn't my goal. That wasn't my assignment. My assignment was to get in, stay in, and pass it. But how was I going to pass this? Because it's hard. This lady was freaking teaching us like we were going to school to be doctors or whatever. So instead of me complaining, I did what I had to do to pass that class. And basically, I'm going to put it on the screen. It was an email because, like I said, 90% of the class was failing. So there was an email that she sent me personally wanting to know how and why was I doing so much better each and every test. Now, I'm going to try to put it on here so you can read it. But if it don't stay on there, then you might want to pause it and then write it down. But the first portion is just going to be me reading her part. And then when I get ready to read my part, what I did different, you can see and take notes if you like. Okay, I'm going to just read from this phone. It say, hello, Tawana. This is an individual email to you. I understand from what you've told me in the beginning of the session that you had to repeat critical care. I noticed that your exam grades have improved consistently since exam 1. I want feedback from you for your study strategies and how you managed to improve the way you did. I want to tell you that you made me very proud, very happy and proud. I need to know if my study strategy sheet worked for you and any suggestions you have that I can give the students in the following sessions on study strategies you use. I can tell students to do this and that, but I am still the instructor and not in the student's position. So I want a student's point of view. Be honest, tell me where I can improve or what helped you improve. I want to see a lot of students like you. You know how I am. I want you all to read the book, study almost everything, right? Did this work? Your feedback will help improve as well as future students. Thank you. Response was, I wanted to reply to your message about my study strategies for each exam. Exam 1 grade, I made a 71%. And that scared the living daylights out of me because the school I was at, their study system was very high. So skating at a 71 wasn't good. So anyways, exam 1, my grade was 71%. I read 2 out of 8 chapters, did not do the study guide or the practice questions. Exam 2, my grade was 80%. I read 3 out of 5 chapters, completed the study guide, but I didn't practice any questions. Exam 3, I made a 94%. I read all the chapters, including the boxes, the critical alerts. I completed the study guide. I listened to the recorded lectures, and I practiced evolve questions on a few chapters. So it just shows you that every time I improve more and more every day. Every test. As you can see, each and every test my score went up higher and higher because I gave more and more effort. So remember, what you put in is what you get out, or what you get out is what you put in. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about these tests that you're taking. Remember, those teachers are not there for you. They're there because that's their job. They're there. You might get some teachers that's there that's really passionate and whatever, but you got to go get it. You got to go get it. Sometimes you're going to have professors that's teaching the class that's not even their specialty. And then you complain that, oh, they're not teaching it right, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just got to teach yourself. This professor that I'm talking about, people griped, people complained because they felt like she didn't know the area. She taught from the book. She taught like on a higher level and couldn't bring it down. But just remember, as the others complain about everything and all of this and that, she wasn't going anywhere. She still had her job. She still taught the way she have been known to teach. So what are you going to do different? Are you going to just sit there and fail? Are you going to just allow yourself to not know the material? No, that means you need to get out there, and this just means you're going to have to work a little harder. This means you're going to have to go a little stronger, So I just encourage everybody to hang in there, give it a little extra. If you got to revisit this video, just as a reminder, revisit it. If you got somebody that's currently feeling like that they're failing a nursing program, send them the video if you feel like it's going to help them, or send it to them anyway and let them make that decision. But I just hope that everybody that's currently in a program, or if you're about to start and you really don't have a need for this video or this advice at the moment, just make sure you hit my notification bell so that you can find me, and you'll always have me under your radar, so that if you have to come back and revisit my video a little later. So again, I just want to encourage all of y'all to hang in there. You will begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And again, for those of you who will be starting in August, congratulations. For those of you who are already in the program or who just need a pick-me-upper, here you go. I do plan to drop more nuggets. Let me know down below if you watched this whole video, if it was helpful to you. Please thumb up the video. Please share it. Please comment and just let me know. Like I told y'all, I get happy. I like to see my numbers going up, and it makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time. Thank you.